So my name is Marc Ruxin. I'm the founder and CEO of Tastemaker X. We're a still private beta mobile social game that feels somewhere between the Hollywood Stock Exchange for music and fantasy sports for music. And our long-term vision is to build a taste graph that plays like a game that is a cross-platform experience. Sure. So I think we're talking broadly about digital music and the new digital music ecosystem. I'm going to be talking mostly about the gamification of culture. So the idea that there are 40 million people that play 20 minutes a day of fantasy sports from cricket to football. That doesn't exist for culture. So we're going to be surfacing over time lots and lots and lots of data about artists initially that are trending and people that are trending around the music vertical. So we'll build out a vertical influence graph that feels like clout for a specific vertical, and then we'll be able to surface what's happening in real time. And we launched the business about 3 weeks ago at South by Southwest, and even with a small closed beta sample size of a couple thousand users, we could tell you almost immediately the most important 5 bands to come out of South by Southwest for any given year. So we're going to take a look at digital music as it relates to the game that people play around music, which is the game of I was into that first and I was into that early, and how do you get credit for doing that? People getting credit for having good and early access and influence over the stuff that they care about, it's an age-old game. So the game of, I was into Arcade Fire in 2003, or I was into, the Grateful Dead in the late 60s, and even before that, that's the game that people play around culture. And I think the ability to quantify how early you were into a trend or how influential you were to an individual artist, in the case of music, is a super, we've unlocked that kind of passion that people have. So, so far so good. It's working as we hoped it would. Well, I've always thought, as a reformed ad guy myself, and I was the chief digital guy for McCann and Universal McCann for years. I think when you think about how brands participate in sports, it's a very well monetized passion. So you buy television and radio and print and out of home and digital. That passion that brands associate themselves with is actually a lot more verticalized when you think about music. So brands have not done a very good job of taking advantage of the passion and the social nature of music at all. So brands can buy print magazines, and if you sell beer or cars, maybe you have a presence at a live event. But for the most part, when you think about it vis-a-vis sports, they haven't done a very good job of attaching themselves. So if you're a brand who targets urban hipsters, you can identify who they are based on the music that they like and how they listen to that music and where they listen to that music. So I think the real opportunity for brands in music is understand who your audience is, attach that understanding to specific genres of music, and kind of ingratiate yourself in the hearts of consumers. And for us, it might be sponsoring gameplay at music festivals, or associating yourself with female artists, or associating yourself with different genres. So, and I think all the folks that we're speaking with today have a different approach to doing a better job of giving brands a role in the audience that's global and passionate about music.